What if I told you that the water you're drinking every single day after 50 might actually be working against your blood flow instead of supporting it? I know that sounds crazy because we've all been told the same thing for decades. Drink more water. Stay hydrated. Carry a bottle everywhere. But here's what nobody talks about. Plain water without the right minerals can actually dilute the very electrolytes your heart, arteries, and muscles desperately need, especially after 50. And if your blood flow isn't optimized, nothing works the way it should. Not your energy, not your brain, not your heart, not even your performance in the bedroom. So today I'm going to show you the one simple mineral you should be adding to your water daily to dramatically support circulation, oxygen delivery, and vascular flexibility, and why this becomes non-negotiable as we age. Now, let's be clear, hydration is critical. Your blood is mostly water. Your cells are mostly water. But hydration is not just about how much water you drink. It's about how well your body holds on to it and how effectively that fluid moves through your vascular system. After 50, several things change. Your kidneys don't concentrate fluids the same way. Hormonal shifts affect fluid balance. Your blood vessels naturally stiffen over time. Nitric oxide production, the molecule that relaxes and widens your arteries, declines. And here's the hidden issue. When you drink large amounts of plain water without adequate minerals, you can dilute sodium and other electrolytes in your bloodstream. That dilution can increase urination, flush out key minerals, and paradoxically leave you less hydrated at a cellular level. So what's the mineral I'm talking about? Magnesium. Magnesium is one of the most overlooked nutrients in modern health, yet it plays a direct role in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body. But the reason it matters so much after 50 has everything to do with your blood vessels. Magnesium helps your arteries relax. It supports nitric oxide production. It prevents excessive constriction of vascular smooth muscle. In simple language, magnesium helps your blood vessels stay flexible instead of stiff. Think about your arteries like garden hoses. When you're young, they're soft and elastic, blood flows easily. As you age, especially without adequate mineral support, those hoses can become rigid. When they stiffen, your heart has to pump harder, blood pressure rises, circulation to your hands, feet, and even your brain can decline. That's when people start noticing cold extremities, brain fog, fatigue, or reduced stamina. Magnesium works almost like a natural relaxant for your vascular system. It tells the muscle cells lining your arteries to loosen up. And when those muscles relax, blood flows more freely. Oxygen delivery improves. Nutrient delivery improves. Waste removal improves. That's real circulation support. Now, here's where plain water becomes a problem. Modern water, especially filtered water, often has very low mineral content. We've stripped it down. Reverse osmosis systems remove contaminants, which is great, but they also remove naturally occurring minerals like magnesium and calcium. So you're drinking empty water. If you're already borderline deficient, and studies show a huge percentage of adults over 50 are, you may be unintentionally worsening that deficiency. Magnesium deficiency is extremely common. Soil depletion has lowered magnesium content in vegetables. Processed foods lack it. Stress depletes it. Certain medications like diuretics and proton pump inhibitors reduce it. And aging itself reduces absorption efficiency. Symptoms can be subtle at first: muscle tightness, poor sleep, mild anxiety, headaches, irregular heartbeat, constipation. But vascular stiffness is one of the biggest hidden consequences. When magnesium is low, calcium tends to dominate inside cells. Calcium causes contraction. Magnesium causes relaxation. So if calcium is the gas pedal, magnesium is the brake. Without enough magnesium, your vascular system can stay slightly contracted all the time. That chronic constriction impairs blood flow. Imagine trying to push thick syrup through a narrow straw. That's what your heart deals with when vessels are constricted. Now imagine widening that straw just a bit. Flow improves dramatically. That's the power of mineral balance. Adding magnesium to your water is one of the simplest ways to gently support daily intake. I'm not talking about dumping random powders without guidance. I'm talking about strategic mineral support. A small amount of high-quality magnesium, like magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, or trace mineral drops containing magnesium, can transform plain water into functional hydration. When magnesium is dissolved in water and consumed throughout the day, it supports cellular hydration more effectively than plain water alone. It helps regulate fluid balance across cell membranes. It supports ATP production, the energy currency of your cells, and it helps regulate the electrical signaling that keeps your heartbeat steady. Let's talk about nitric oxide for a moment, because this is where things get really interesting. Nitric oxide is a molecule your body produces to signal blood vessels to dilate. After 40 and especially after 50, nitric oxide production declines significantly. That's one reason exercise tolerance drops. It's one reason erectile dysfunction becomes more common. It's one reason recovery slows down. Magnesium plays a supportive role in the pathways that produce nitric oxide. It also protects the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels, from oxidative stress. The healthier your endothelium, the better your vessels respond when your body says, we need more blood flow here. Now let's connect this to energy. If blood flow is compromised, oxygen delivery to tissues decreases. When oxygen delivery decreases, mitochondria can't produce energy efficiently. You feel tired, not because you didn't sleep, not because you're lazy, but because your cells aren't getting what they need. Many people over 50 say, I just don't have the stamina I used to. Sometimes that's hormonal, sometimes it's muscle loss, but sometimes it's simply circulation. When you improve vascular relaxation, you improve performance across the board. And here's the part that surprises people. Drinking excessive plain water without electrolytes can increase urine output and flush sodium and magnesium. You feel like you're hydrating, but you're constantly running to the bathroom. Your mouth still feels dry. You may even get mild headaches. That's often a sign of electrolyte imbalance, not dehydration. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not telling you to stop drinking water. I'm telling you to make your water smarter. Add minerals. Support your vascular system intentionally, because after 50, your body doesn't respond the same way it did at 25. Let's talk about blood pressure. Magnesium has been studied extensively for its role in supporting healthy blood pressure levels. It doesn't work like a drug forcing a dramatic drop. It works by supporting normal vascular tone. By relaxing smooth muscle and improving endothelial function, magnesium can help maintain healthy pressure levels naturally. Think of it as supporting the root rather than masking the symptom. Now imagine this scenario. You wake up, you drink 2 large glasses of plain water, you flush out sodium and magnesium, you urinate frequently, your vascular tone remains tight. You go about your day slightly fatigued. Then in the evening, your legs feel restless. You can't sleep deeply. That entire pattern could be linked to mineral balance. Magnesium also influences insulin sensitivity. When blood sugar regulation improves, vascular inflammation decreases. High blood sugar damages blood vessels over time. Supporting mineral status indirectly protects circulation. Let's also address muscle cramps and tightness. Those calf cramps at night, that stiffness in your neck, often tied to low magnesium. Those muscles include the muscles in your blood vessel walls. So when skeletal muscles cramp, it's a sign that smooth muscles may also be tense. Now, how much magnesium are we talking about? Most adults over 50 may benefit from around 300 to 400 milligrams per day from food and supplementation combined, though individual needs vary. Foods rich in magnesium include leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocados, and dark chocolate. But realistically, many people don't consistently hit optimal intake through diet alone. Adding a small measured dose to your water bottle, sipped throughout the day, can be a gentle and effective strategy. And here's something else. When magnesium intake improves, many people report better sleep. Why does that matter for blood flow? because deep sleep supports growth hormone release, vascular repair, and overall cardiovascular recovery. Let's talk about dehydration signs people ignore: dry skin, constipation, brain fog, cold hands and feet. These aren't always about water quantity. Sometimes they're about electrolyte distribution. And here's something else most people never consider: chronic stress depletes magnesium rapidly. Cortisol increases urinary magnesium excretion. So if you're under constant stress, which many people over 50 are due to work, family, health concerns, you may be burning through magnesium faster than you realize. So what happens when you correct it? Blood vessels relax, muscles relax, sleep improves, energy stabilizes, circulation improves. That's not magic. That's physiology. Now let's connect this to exercise. When you walk, lift weights, or stretch, your muscles demand increased blood flow. If your vessels are stiff, performance suffers. Magnesium supports proper muscle contraction and relaxation cycles. It also helps regulate heart rhythm during exertion. And yes, this matters for men and women. For men, improved circulation directly affects performance and confidence. For women, improved circulation supports brain clarity, skin health, and overall vitality. One thing I want you to understand deeply is that aging does not automatically mean decline. It means adaptation. If nitric oxide decreases, we support it. If mineral absorption decreases, we compensate intelligently. If stress increases, we replenish strategically. Plain water isn't the enemy, but incomplete hydration is. When you start adding minerals intentionally, you may notice you don't need to drink excessive amounts to feel hydrated. Your body retains fluid better. Your mouth feels moist. Your energy feels steadier. There's also emerging discussion about how mineral-rich hydration supports lymphatic movement. The lymphatic system depends on proper fluid balance to remove waste products. If fluid shifts are imbalanced, detoxification efficiency declines. Let me give you a simple way to think about this. Water is the vehicle. Minerals are the drivers. Without drivers, the vehicle doesn't know where to go. Now, does this mean everyone should load up on high doses? No, balance matters. If you have kidney issues or are on certain medications, you should speak with your healthcare provider before supplementing. But for many healthy adults over 50, strategic magnesium intake is both safe and beneficial. Another interesting point: magnesium supports vitamin D activation, and vitamin D influences cardiovascular health, so deficiencies compound each other. Let's imagine two people, both 55 years old. One drinks plain filtered water all day and eats a low mineral diet. The other drinks mineral-enhanced water, eats magnesium-rich foods, manages stress, and walks daily. Over time, the difference in vascular flexibility, blood pressure, and energy can be significant. And here's the most empowering part: this is simple. It doesn't require extreme diets. It doesn't require expensive gadgets. It's a small daily habit shift. If you're thinking, I already drink plenty of water, that's great. Now upgrade it. Think of it as turning basic hydration into therapeutic hydration. Pay attention to your body. Do your hands and feet feel warmer? Does your sleep deepen? Do your workouts feel smoother? Does your mind feel clearer? Circulation influences all of it. And remember this: your heart beats about 100,000 times per day. Every single beat depends on electrical signaling and mineral balance. Magnesium plays a central role in that electrical stability. So the next time you fill your glass, ask yourself, am I just hydrating or am I nourishing my vascular system? Because after 50, the game changes. Your strategy should too. Start simple. Add magnesium. Support nitric oxide. Stay active. Eat mineral-rich foods. Manage stress. Prioritize sleep. Blood flow is life. Oxygen is life. Circulation is vitality. And sometimes the most powerful changes aren't dramatic. They're mineral. If this opened your eyes, stay with me on this journey. Small daily upgrades create massive long-term results. Your arteries are listening. Your heart is listening. And your future self will thank you. One of the biggest mistakes people make after 50 isn't that they lack discipline. It's that they focus only on what they take and ignore when they take it. Timing changes everything. Your body runs on rhythms. Hormones rise and fall. Blood pressure follows a daily pattern. Cortisol peaks in the morning and gradually declines. Melatonin rises at night. Even your arteries behave differently depending on the time of day. So when we talk about daily mineral timing strategies to improve vascular flexibility and heart performance, we're talking about aligning mineral intake with your biology instead of fighting against it. Let's start with the morning, because this is where most people unknowingly create imbalance. When you wake up, your body is naturally slightly dehydrated. Blood pressure begins to rise to prepare you for movement. Cortisol increases to stimulate alertness. Your heart rate climbs. This is also the time of day when cardiovascular events statistically occur more often, partly because vessels are transitioning from a relaxed nighttime state to a more constricted daytime state. If you wake up and immediately drink large amounts of plain water, you may dilute electrolytes that are already shifting due to hormonal changes. Instead, a smarter strategy is to introduce minerals gently and intentionally with your first hydration of the day. A small amount of magnesium combined with trace minerals in your morning water can support smoother vascular transition. Magnesium helps counterbalance the natural vasoconstrictive effect of cortisol. It doesn't blunt your alertness, but it supports arterial relaxation as your system ramps up. This can help your blood vessels expand more efficiently as circulation increases with movement. Think of it as preparing your arteries for the day's workload. Now consider breakfast timing. If you consume coffee early, caffeine stimulates the nervous system and can increase urinary excretion of magnesium. For individuals over 50 who already have reduced absorption efficiency, this matters. Pairing coffee with a mineral-rich meal or taking a portion of magnesium later in the morning rather than immediately before caffeine can help reduce losses. Timing here isn't about restriction. It's about strategic placement. If caffeine increases output, you replenish when absorption is more stable. Mid-morning is often when energy dips. Many people reach for sugar or another cup of coffee, but vascular fatigue can also contribute to that slump. When arteries are slightly stiff, oxygen delivery may not be optimal. A small electrolyte-enhanced hydration break mid-morning can improve blood flow and mental clarity. Splitting mineral intake into divided doses rather than consuming it all at once improves absorption and reduces gastrointestinal discomfort. For vascular flexibility, steady support is more effective than a single large dose. As the day progresses toward midday, insulin sensitivity shifts. Meals rich in refined carbohydrates can temporarily impair endothelial function, the delicate lining of your blood vessels responsible for nitric oxide release. Magnesium plays a role in insulin signaling and glucose metabolism. Taking part of your daily magnesium dose with lunch can support metabolic balance and protect vascular responsiveness after eating. This is particularly relevant after 50 because post-meal blood sugar spikes tend to be higher and linger longer. Supporting mineral status at this time may reduce the vascular stress associated with those spikes. Early afternoon often brings a second dip in energy. Blood pressure patterns fluctuate. Some individuals experience slight increases in vascular resistance during stressful work hours. Stress hormones increase magnesium excretion through the kidneys. This is where timing minerals around stress exposure becomes powerful. If you know your afternoons are demanding, placing a small mineral dose before or during that window may buffer the vascular impact of stress. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel regulator, preventing excessive contraction of smooth muscle in the arteries. Providing it before the peak stress moment allows it to be available when needed. Exercise timing adds another layer. Physical activity increases blood flow demand dramatically. Arteries must dilate efficiently. Magnesium supports muscle contraction and relaxation cycles, including the smooth muscle lining blood vessels. Taking a portion of magnesium 30 to 60 minutes before moderate exercise may enhance vascular responsiveness and reduce the likelihood of cramps or excessive heart rate spikes. However, high doses immediately before intense activity can cause gastrointestinal discomfort in some people, so moderate timing matters. The goal is support, not overload. Post-exercise is another critical window. During activity, magnesium is lost through sweat. Cortisol rises temporarily. Inflammation increases transiently. Supporting mineral replenishment after exercise helps restore balance and maintain vascular flexibility. Combining magnesium with potassium-rich foods and adequate sodium intake can optimize fluid distribution. This is particularly important after 50, when total body water decreases and recovery slows. Now let's talk about evening timing, which may be the most impactful for heart performance. Blood pressure typically dips at night in healthy individuals. This is called nocturnal dipping. In some adults over 50, especially those with stiff arteries, this dip becomes blunted. Magnesium taken in the evening can support parasympathetic activation, the rest and digest branch of your nervous system. When the parasympathetic system dominates, heart rate slows slightly, vessels relax, and repair processes increase. Evening mineral intake may enhance this natural dip, supporting cardiovascular recovery. Sleep itself is a vascular event. During deep sleep, growth hormone release supports tissue repair. The endothelium regenerates. Inflammation decreases. Magnesium improves sleep quality by influencing GABA receptors in the brain, promoting calmness. Better sleep enhances nitric oxide production the following day. So evening mineral timing indirectly influences next day blood flow. Spacing mineral intake throughout the day also prevents competition for absorption. Large single doses may overwhelm transport mechanisms in the gut. Smaller divided doses increase bioavailability. For example, splitting 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium into 3 portions, morning, midday, and evening, may provide steadier vascular support than one large dose at night. Sodium timing also matters. While excessive sodium is problematic for some individuals, extremely low sodium intake combined with high water consumption can reduce plasma volume and impair circulation. A balanced approach that includes small amounts of natural sodium earlier in the day supports blood volume and heart performance. Sodium works synergistically with magnesium to maintain electrical gradients across cell membranes. Proper timing ensures stable blood pressure rather than sharp fluctuations. Potassium intake should ideally come from whole foods spaced across meals rather than isolated megadoses. Leafy greens, avocados, beans, and squash provide steady potassium that complements magnesium's relaxation effect. Timing potassium with meals supports postprandial vascular function and balances sodium. Circadian rhythm alignment is another overlooked factor. Your body expects nutrients at certain times. Consuming the majority of your calories earlier in the day aligns with metabolic efficiency. Mineral timing aligned with meal timing enhances utilization. Late heavy meals can impair endothelial function and blunt nocturnal blood pressure dipping. Therefore, concentrating mineral-rich foods earlier and keeping evening intake lighter may enhance overnight vascular repair. Hydration timing also influences mineral balance. Instead of drinking large volumes at once, steady intake throughout the day maintains plasma osmolarity. Adding trace minerals to each refill supports retention. Overhydration in the evening can disrupt sleep and dilute nighttime electrolyte concentration. Therefore, front-loading hydration earlier and tapering slightly toward evening can improve sleep and vascular recovery. For individuals taking medications that influence electrolyte balance, such as diuretics, timing becomes even more crucial. Diuretics increase magnesium and potassium loss. Coordinating mineral intake several hours apart from medication dosing may improve retention and minimize gastric gastrointestinal upset. Always under medical supervision, but timing awareness enhances outcomes. Heart rhythm stability depends on consistent intracellular magnesium levels. Sudden fluctuations are less ideal than steady availability. Dividing intake smooths plasma concentration curves. Stable magnesium reduces the likelihood of palpitations triggered by stress or caffeine. For people sensitive to arrhythmias, timing minerals away from stimulants can provide protective buffering. Seasonal timing plays a role as well. In hotter months, sweat losses increase, requiring more deliberate midday replenishment. In colder months, vasoconstriction is more pronounced due to temperature, so morning mineral support may be especially beneficial. There's also synergy between magnesium and nitrate-rich foods like beets and leafy greens. Consuming magnesium earlier in the day and nitrate-rich vegetables at lunch can amplify nitric oxide production when activity levels are higher. This coordinated timing supports daytime performance and evening recovery. Digestive timing matters too. Magnesium citrate may have a mild laxative effect. Taking it earlier prevents nighttime disruptions. Magnesium glycinate is gentler and may be ideal for evening use. Choosing form and timing together personalizes strategy. Stress timing awareness changes everything. If you anticipate emotionally intense meetings or demanding caregiving responsibilities, placing a mineral dose beforehand can stabilize vascular tone. Chronic stress elevates adrenaline, which constricts blood vessels. Magnesium counterbalances this effect at the cellular level. Hormonal timing shifts after menopause and andropause influence mineral needs. Declining estrogen reduces nitric oxide production and affects vascular elasticity. Strategic mineral timing can partially compensate by supporting endothelial responsiveness during daytime activity peaks. Blood sugar timing interacts with vascular function. High glucose temporarily stiffens arteries. Taking magnesium with carbohydrate-containing meals improves insulin sensitivity and may blunt that stiffness response. Timing here acts as protection. Travel timing is another scenario. Long flights increase dehydration and blood pooling in the legs. Taking minerals before travel and sipping mineral-enhanced water during flights may reduce vascular strain and swelling. Consistency builds adaptation. Daily rhythm repetition trains the body to expect support. Just like exercise adaptation occurs through repetition, vascular responsiveness improves when mineral support is predictable. It's also important not to combine high-dose zinc or calcium simultaneously with magnesium as they compete for absorption. Staggering these minerals at different times improves utilization and prevents imbalance that could affect vascular contraction-relaxation dynamics. Morning sunlight exposure enhances circadian rhythm alignment, indirectly improving cardiovascular timing patterns. Pairing morning mineral hydration with light exposure amplifies the body's natural awakening response without excessive vascular strain.